I'll spin it.
Outside the relative safety of the stage or TV studio, even more dangers stalk the unwary television performer.
Sure? What do you reckon? She says heads, she says tails. Very astute, because actually, it's both. Come here. Look, come here, close. Come here, look. I decided to do the trick that I'd never done before, which was like turning a pint of beer upside down over someone's head. Right, and the idea is it's an old gag where you use a beer mat and the beer mat sticks. OK, let's try it. Whoop. There's a bit. You ready? Whoop. Let's just... Look. Whoop. Look at that. But the magic part is that I then slide away the beer mat and the drink stays in the glass. Now, if we put it flat on your head, we could do that. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. What made it worse was a pint of cider. I don't know why that is, but something psychological about it being sticky and everything. And so there's this fantastic moment where, you know, there's these 5 guys sat there, the pint goes all over his head, and there's just a lovely moment where he gets his glass, and I'm not sure quite what he's going to do, and I'm thinking, this is great TV, but I'd rather keep my face, you know. I'm sorry, but that wasn't deliberate. Fair enough.
Everywhere you looked, there were celebrities of Gloria Hunniford, Jeffrey Archer, you know, just everyone was there.
Yeah, you can clear off as well.
You what?
Clear off.
What?
Clear off.
I think for certain sort of technical reasons, I should actually be here.
Cool. You have to have a hand in everything, don't you? Shut it.
Got through the material and then got into the song.
All right, boys, hit it.
The first line where it's sort of like,
I will love you as I love you all my life.
obviously not moving my lips, and Sam was doing it all.
I will love you as I love you all my life. Every moment. Oh no. What's the gun?
Carry on.
And then I just went, oh, I'm really sorry, I've forgotten it. In front of the whole audience, and I went red, and I felt so embarrassed. You know, there's celebrities everywhere. You got the normal studio audience at the back, and then all I could think to say was get Sam to look at the pianist and go, "I thought you knew it," and blamed him.
I thought you knew it.
But that was really, really embarrassing. And then the floor manager comes and says, "Don't worry, Paul, we'll go again. Don't worry." And we did it again, and it was fine.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
So am I.
But sometimes no amount of practice will make perfect. Perhaps it's time to admit you're in the wrong job.
Peter Brough was a big, big name on radio. He was a radio ventriloquist. And when you think about it, you don't have to be too good to be a radio ventriloquist.
Terribly well.
You've done pretty well for yourself too, you know.
Well, very kind of you.
I'm very proud of you, very proud of you indeed. Here, you know, listen to that story.
It's getting worse, Peter.
And when he came on television, we discovered that his mouth moved. He wasn't really a ventriloquist, but he tried to hide it by either having a cigar in his hand or putting his hand up to his mouth.
Listen to that story, you know, of you in the caravan. Of course, he doesn't know. He thought that I was asleep when they came back at night. I said, you ought to have heard some of the things that went on there when he was...
I think it was possibly his first and last performance.
I'd like to see you do it.
So what do you do if it all goes wrong? Every performer needs to learn how to get out of trouble when all else fails. And sometimes a bad start can be the making of your act.
Out I come, and I start doing my opening 2 jokes. I'm just doing my stuff, and I'm... I'd gone out there, and the bloody mic wasn't on. And so I went off, and Bruce came back on, because he'd done his own warm-ups. So he went on and kept the audience happy.
In these days of modern television, these things do happen, and you have to stop, because that would have been terrible for Paul. Exactly.
Well, that's terrible, isn't it? Young man, first appearance on the Palladium show. well, that's terrible, you know, what a horrible thing for to have to happen. So then the sound man's changing my mic, going, I'm really sorry, Paul, I'm really sorry. I'm going, don't worry, look, these things happen, doesn't matter.
And if we have any more stops, if you've got a question, think of a question you'd like to ask me about anything, you know, and if you talk to me and we have a question or something, forget you're talking to a superstar.
When we start recording again, this is Bruce telling the audience, you know, when we start recording, give him your support. That's a horrible thing to happen. You know, please, you know, just give him lots of support. And so he goes, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Paul Zerdin. And I come out and the audience reaction is fantastic because they feel sorry for me.
Thank you.
So they've gone berserk. And so anyone watching that show when it went out, and that's obviously, you know, the routine was fine from then on, and that's the bit they used. When you watch the TV show, people will look at that and go, my God, this Paul Zerdin chap, God, he's popular.
Right, now we've got to find you a voice.
Oh, yeah, a voice. Could you make it something that is like my physical appearance?
Certainly.
You know, something butch and manly.
Of course. How about this?
Hello.
The one thing you can't predict, obviously, is within participation stuff, is the characters you're going to get up. Magic is all about reactions and getting, you know, interesting people involved, you know, but by doing that, you are taking a big risk, because at the end of the day, how good you look depends on how they react to you. This is a rather glamorous assistant here. Can I borrow you for a minute? Give her a big round of applause. I was doing a show in Ulster, the Kelly Show. And so we did a few tricks, all going very well, but then made the mistake of getting a woman up from the audience. And the audience were kind of not the most responsive, to say the least. And the woman I got up, I think she was a carbon-based life form. What we need you to do is mix them up for me, OK? Because I don't want you thinking that I kind of did any fiddling myself. So you mix them up, and then you're going to grab a card yourself. I don't want anyone saying afterwards, oh, we made her choose a certain card or whatever. Don't look so scared. After dropping the cards a couple of times, she then kept showing me the chosen card, which is kind of good of her, but doesn't make for a great trick for everybody else. You know, I've seen it. Well, I can see it from here. But what? Have another one, for God's sake. Make sure it's a secret one. Was it 5 of spades, the last one? Yeah. Yeah, you just showed me the new one as well. Come on, for God's sake. Take one and don't show me. Right. Oh, what's that one?
Don't show him.
Another joker. Right. Don't show. I'll face this way.
Yes, you talk to me.
You sign your name across the face of the card, as I say, nice and big. So she signed her name on it eventually. We've shuffled the pack, and it ends up appearing out of her mouth. But out of all the cards, she'd chosen the rules card. You know, you get like a couple of jokers, the 52 cards, and this nondescript thing with writing on. So I'm trying to kind of name the card, thinking, what the hell is this? On top of which, a name seemed to be James. What was your card? James. It's quite a weird one, because you've picked the only rule card out of the whole thing I've ever had chosen, but was that your name on there? And that was the one you chose? Good job I didn't ask you to name it, isn't it?